When we don't have a healthy relationship with ourselves as a result of childhood traumas, when we have not done enough work to develop a secure identity, we will live at the mercy and in the shadows of the people that don't like us, those that have mistreated us. Their actions and words will reinforce an already existing negative perception of ourselves that might have been developed in the past due to any form of abuse and or trauma that we might have suffered. And this is why you have a responsibility to go into every dark place of your life and begin to unpack your traumas. Become aware of all the negative experiences that you might have been subjected to as a kid. Be fully aware of every form of betrayal and or disadvantage and setback that you might have suffered in the past and did not do anything to address, because those will be used to form a perception of yourself that will determine whether or not you are able to show up for yourself in the future. And if there is a lot of evidence from the past that you have never showed up for yourself, you will simply believe that there is nothing that you can do to rescue yourself from any form of abuse and or setback. A lot of people live in the shadows of those that have hurt them. Those are the people that determine how they treat other people, how they live their lives. And if you have not done any work to address any form of setback from the past, it is highly possible that most of who you are today is a result of what was said and done to you by the people that didn't like you. Negative experiences and emotions have such a huge effect on people. And this is why you have a responsibility to take the time to address all of them, or at least those that you can. And if there is a part of your life that you feel you're not able to address on your own, then you might need to seek professional help. Because whatever form of negative emotion and or negative experience that you have not addressed will be used in the future to determine what you can and cannot do for yourself. And if there is a lot of evidence that you have never done anything to rescue yourself, if you have never done anything to change the narrative from that which was offered by your abusers and perpetrators, you are simply going to spend most of your life in your adulthood pursuing other people with the hope that they will rescue you and give you a new perception of yourself. Eventually, you become a more agreeable and people-pleasing person in an attempt to find an identity in the people that you are impressing. It is your responsibility to heal yourself. Nobody can do that for you. Everybody else can hurt you. Everybody else can mistreat you. But you can decide to validate yourself. You can decide to honor your truth. You can decide to heal yourself and remove yourself from any environment in which you might have been mistreated. When we don't do the shadow work, we form an identity that is based or through the lenses of our trauma and any other form of abuse. And that is usually not an authentic identity because it's simply us trying to survive. So basically we develop a lot of coping mechanisms in an attempt to modify ourselves so that we can at least minimize the possibilities of being hurt again in the future. And so most of what we do is we live in either a fight or flight mode or in an agreeable state in which we have to agree to everything else that everybody else says because it's the only way to protect ourselves. But as an adult, you might need to know that now you have too many options. As a kid, you might not have had too many options. But as an adult, you do have a lot of options. And you can change your life. You don't have to live in the shadows of the people that don't like you. You don't have to give power to the people that don't like you. It's amazing how if you begin to reflect on your life, you will actually notice that the people that have hurt you seem to live longer and more in your head than the people that actually love you, because we seem to give so much power to the people that speak ill of us instead of recognizing that there are people that actually appreciate us. And so we end up spending a lot of our times trying to find a way to impress the people that don't like us because we are hoping that they will see us differently and that will help us develop a better identity of ourselves. But you don't have to do that. Nobody owes you a better identity of yourself. You can do that on your own. You can choose the kind of identity that is true to yourself and honor that through behaviors and beliefs and give yourself permission to live a life that is truly satisfying to yourself without any reservations. If your choice of identity offends other people, that's proof that you don't need those people in your life. Stop modifying yourself in an attempt to impress and, tolerate toxic behaviors in people.